Hi Teresa, I'm really tired because it's very late and I wanted to give you the script of how I held someone accountable today because it was very difficult and very scary, and honestly it took a lot of energy, and I was frustrated with myself afterward because I had so much more that I wanted to do today, and I had to take a long nap, and I also did have a little bit of a pause day today, but the conversation went really well, and I stuck to my boundaries. So here's the script. Basically, it works like this. I have been trying to hold firm boundaries, and you have been unable to respect and hold my boundaries, and I have been experiencing resentment due to my boundaries not being respected, and I don't want it to reach the point of resentment where I feel like I don't want to talk to you, and I care about you and I want to know how you are, but I don't want that to change. And I think that it's unhealthy for us to continue in the way that we are, because the resentment is growing and it's becoming like tense between us. And what I generally look for when I hold someone accountable is accountability, which is to say, I have done something wrong. This is what I have done wrong. This is what I will do next to change my behavior patterns so that I stop causing harm. And it's that simple. It doesn't mean that you have to, feel any judgment or blame or anger. Obviously anger might be natural and unavoidable, but I really recommend using a script like this because because I voiced how hurt I was feeling and how my boundaries were being crossed, I actually feel so much better. And even though the resentment hasn't completely gone away, I really feel so much more open air between me and this person, and I'm really excited because I care about them so much and I really want us to stay close. And it was really scary to have the conversation that I did because I was really afraid to hurt this person, and I was also really afraid that this person would reject me for saying the things that I did. And I think that they were also afraid of how I would treat them and whether I would want to still keep them close to me. And so I think that I was able to speak to both of our fears and like offer security and like comfort to both of us, and still really voice like how much hurt I was feeling and what caused that hurt, and how I'm going to hold my boundary going forward, being that the person has had a lot of trouble giving accountability to me and changing their behavior. And sometimes a change in behavior may not be accessible to someone until there's a big change or transformation And so I really recommend you to use this script to hold people accountable in your life, and to practice speaking up about your actual feelings, like when boundaries are being crossed, or you are starting to feel resentful, or you're having your feelings hurt over and over again and it's really damaging a relationship. You can have the conversation and say either that resentment is starting to form, resentment has been forming, or that or that you want to avoid resentment completely, and so you are it's best to start as soon as you notice that you're having those kind of feelings. But if it takes a long time to fully understand why you're having those feelings, then it's okay to just be honest about, like, I'm feeling resentful. Here's why. I don't want to feel resentful. And so here's what I would like to do, or here's what I would like to happen next. And to just kind of not to come at it with super emotional in terms of like aggressive or accusatory or defensive. It's just, hey, this is where I'm at. It's emotional because it's vulnerable in terms of like, this is how I'm feeling, and I feel I'm really struggling with these feelings, and it makes me feel torn because I want to treat our friendship a certain way, and instead I have to treat it a different way. And honoring those feelings when you're saying it is important, but it will also really help to use a kind of more neutral approach. That's kind of like, this is what's happening, this is where we're at now, this is the situation that our friendship is in, and here is how I want to heal it or protect it from further damage. And obviously this is a better case scenario when you and the person are still friends, and the earlier that you start speaking up in your relationships and friendships for how you want to be treated and your boundaries, the earlier that you start holding boundaries, the more friendships you will get to retain, even when you hold firm boundaries about reducing contact, or limiting contact, or having more organized contact or something like that, which is not quite the case here, but it's still a very, very firm boundary that's being set. And so it felt really painful, and it also felt very freeing. And honestly, already me and that person have had a healthier, happier relationship today already, just from that change, because we're able to be more open with each other, and there's less tension because we've cleared the air and talked about how we're actually feeling and what we plan to do moving forward, and that feels really fucking good. So that's where I'm at, and I had to rest a lot after that because it was very scary. I was shaking, my heart was pounding, and yeah, it took a lot of bravery and trust, because I really do care about this person so much, and I trust them so much, and they're part of my family, so I'm just really happy that it worked out the way it did. And I rested a lot, and that's why my video today is later in the day, and that's okay. I'm still really proud of myself for getting to it and talking about it. So this is the script that you can use to hold people accountable, and to talk about your boundaries. And if you need to be more firm with your script, I can make more versions, but this is what helped me today so much, to be firm and talk about my feelings. So I hope that helps, and like for any people, for me and for any non-me people, and for Teresa, I hope you enjoy watching this back and remembering with me later. Yeah, okay, bye now.